I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left. Okay? Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am, isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out every day.
So let me get this straight. The man that you said you loved everything about, you were married to for 10 years, with whom you have 3 kids with, you told me you want a divorce because you feel around him you can't be yourself, but you don't know who you are because you're still looking for yourself.
Alrighty then.
All right, yeah, okay, sure. Well, this your boy F. Flossie. Let you know what's up and what's going down. You already feel me. Go ahead, hit that like button for your boy. And yeah, this video has been getting a lot of traction. You know, I've seen this on my timeline a couple times, and she's receiving some backlash for her actions. You know, want to blow up her marriage of 10 years because, yeah, the reason she said, which is, it don't make sense to me, you know, but stories like this reinforce why a lot of dudes are afraid of getting married. Contrary to what some women think, men want relationships. Men want to be able to put their trust in a woman, you feel me, build a family with. But the idea of breakup can be way more terrifying than the idea of commitment to one woman. You know, when I be chatting with a homegirl and she be like, yo, why men don't want to commit, why they run from marriage? And I'm like, yo, to a man today, it can feel extremely dangerous for him to invest his time, his energy, his resources into a woman for her to suddenly change her mind a couple years later. We're in a time where there's no real shame. There's no real moral barriers. Back in the day, you get a divorce and, the family frowning on you. Your community is looking at you like, yo, you kind of was seen as a failure. Now it's kind of glorified and encouraged and incentivized. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you not happy, girl? You better walk. You better walk. And it's not that the husband is abusive or disloyal or anything like that. It's just, yo, the woman ain't happy. And happiness, just like any other feeling, fluctuates. It vacillates. Like, yo, you could be happy on Monday, sad on Tuesday, happy on Thursday, sad on Sunday. You know what I mean? So to base the status of a marriage, whether divorce is going to happen or not, strictly on the woman's consistent happiness is just not really realistic, man. Happy 24/7. No matter how good the relationship is, you're going to have some days that are a little rocky, a little rainy. And that happiness a lot of times comes from within. So the dude could be doing everything right. He could be doing everything on point. But for whatever reason, his wife ain't happy. And he gonna feel the wrath.
I remember feeling like my marriage was temporary from the beginning. I left the good guy. He did the dishes. He cleaned the house. He took the kids to school. He worked all day. He made good money. He supported us. Yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy.
And in today's culture, she's more than likely to have friends to encourage her to walk than to stay in her marriage. You know how many random posts I've seen about divorce parties and I'm choosing myself first and all of this stuff? I'm like, yo, divorce party, that was never supposed to be good news. You weren't supposed to celebrate that thing. I mean, okay. But I'm going to tell you exactly what happened with this woman. She's 32. She's been married 10 years, 3 kids. So if we do the math, she's been married since she was 22 years old. She had 3 kids. I mean, she started having them early, probably right around after marriage, early 20s. She feels like she missed out on life. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if her husband was the only one she'd been with, or she really hadn't done much before him. You feel me? And I know as men, we want that exclusivity, that girl that hasn't been around the block. You feel me? But let me tell you what comes with that. Especially if it's a situation where that woman has only been with that one guy, right? Yo, they get the worst case of FOMO, that fear of missing out. And them FOMO chicks, yo, they be the most disrespectful because they have a deep down resentment for that man because they feel like he held them back from life. So they had that resentment. So they be disrespectful. Like I knew this one couple, they were together for years, had a kid, and she used to be the biggest flirt. She used to flirt. I mean, I come around, she start popping ass in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing? Your husband is right there. Just disrespecting him. Because it seemed like she wanted to get something out. And she felt like as long as she wasn't, really having schmecks, then she wasn't cheating. So she would do everything under the sun, flirt, pop her ass because that was her way of getting out whatever she had bottled up. She used to talk to him crazy. It was like she low-key hated him. And I think cases like this is more prevalent today because of social media. Before all of this IG and all dating apps and all this stuff, if a woman was with a man and that was the only man she been with, she was a virgin before him, there was a higher chance for the relationship to work out because, she loved him. She didn't really have a lot to compare him to. She didn't experience much. You feel me? But now, because of this internet, it's like, yo, she could go on IG or TikTok and hear stories about women having fun and talk about their stories of getting passed around and all that and feel like she's missing out. And that makes her dangerous. Probably more dangerous than a woman that's been there and done that and realized that, yo, it's not what it's cracked up to be. That FOMO feeling can make a woman very sporadic and impulsive. Man, I'm talking about one day, boom, it's over. I want a divorce. But baby, we got 3 kids together. I don't care. I'm in love with my bicycle coach. He said I deserve more and we could ride across the country together and be one just riding bicycles. Like, what are you talking about? What? But it really be like that. And that's what makes men weary about marriage. Especially a man with a lot of resources. Because he's going to think, does it really make sense to tie in my assets and finances into a situation that could be uncertain? Even though I love this woman, what the culture right now perpetuates is, leads to a lot of uncertainty. You feel me? Remaining in a healthy relationship that may require work at times isn't encouraged like it once was. But let me know what y'all think about this. Always love reading y'all thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you have a beautiful day. Till next time, baby, I'm out.